a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, and welcome to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. It is Friday, the last day of the working week, and the last working day of the month for March 2025 is the 28th day of March 2025, and we're coming to you live from the Port Mall here in Scarborough, Tobago, and I am Adana Kumbi. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it.
Good morning, and my name is Akinlabi Holder, and this is the first day, Adana, of the long weekend, the very long weekend. I hope everybody has that energy and that vigor to tackle the last working day of the week with some energy and vigor, and give it the best today and enjoy the long weekend to come.
But Akinlabi, I don't understand how you're saying it's the first day of the long weekend. The weekend starts on Saturday. We're working today. We're working today.
You know how people in Trinity
Don't sell us out. Don't sell us out. But yes, we are, heading into the weekend, a very long weekend. In fact, we're seeing that we have a double holiday on Sunday, which is Eid and Spiritual Baptist Day. So we have Monday and Tuesday off, ladies and gentlemen. So we do hope whatever plans you have, that you have a wonderful time over the weekend. But before we get into all the weekend talks and what we're going to do and who's going to eat what and who's going to go where and what they're going to wear and how many photos they're going to take, we have to head on over to the news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Friday, March 28, 2025. Tourism Secretary Tasha Boris defended the division's $927,000 overseas travel expenses, citing financial constraints and lack of authority over civil aviation approvals. Boris noted that despite no airlines being secured, the THA lacks the central government's airlift funding. THA Minority Leader Kelvin Morris questioned the benefits of the spending, criticizing the lack of new routes. Boris countered the negotiation and marking efforts were ongoing. She emphasized Tobago's need for greater autonomy, while Chief Secretary Fali Augustine confirmed pending negotiations with Kingdom Airlines delayed due to aircraft acquisition issues. Up next, Opposition Leader Kamala Prasad Bisesa unveiled the UNC's economic plan ahead of the April 28 election. Prasad Bisesa pledged to lower corporate taxes, scrap property tax, and simplify business regulations. She emphasized international trade, education reform, including mandatory Spanish in schools, and revitalizing the energy sector. She also promised infrastructure upgrades, tax incentives for working force, and stronger CARICOM trade ties. UNC Chairman Dave Tanku criticized government spending, citing economic decline and job losses, urging greater accountability. And finally, Secretary of State Marco Rubio reassured Prime Minister Stuart Young that American policies would not negatively impact Trinidad and Tobago's energy sector despite U.S. sanctions on Venezuela. The Dragon gas deal remains on track, with the U.S. recognizing TNT's vital role in the regional energy security. Young highlighted TNT's strong diplomatic ties with Venezuela and ongoing domestic energy initiatives, including the Manti field set for 2027. He also addressed concerns about rising Caribbean freight costs. While the renewal of the OFAC license remained uncertain, Young emphasized TNT's credibility and constructive dialogue with the U.S. officials. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Bianna, for our news there in 90 seconds. And, we have been talking a lot about politics because we're in the election season, but I just want to bring something to light. There was a video circulating, I think it was yesterday, on social media, where passers-by or persons in our community saw they got sight on the giant African snail. Right? And I just want to have that conversation this morning because I know we had representatives from the Division of Food Security here talking about the giant African snail and talking about how to prevent it from spreading. Yes. And I just want to, encourage persons, if you see, to call and report it, because if you try to contain it yourself, I think they go into self-preservation mode and then they expel all their eggs. Yes. So while you try to kill one, you might be creating hundreds at the same time. So, you know, if you spot them anywhere, you are to contact the Division of Food Security to ensure that you file that report in there so you get the support for them to come out and contain. They have also been calling for persons to partner with them as well. Ensure that you gear up, you have one clothes to shoes and all your right paraphernalia, protective gear rather, to collect the giant African snail. Please do not try to smash them. If you try to crush them with your feet, they will expel their shells, and that's in the hundreds, making it even more difficult to be contained, and they are poisonous and they are not something you want to play around with. While you know, it's kind of you know, strange seeing them about in this amount, and especially in a community like this. Please do not try to touch them with your bare hands, or to try to squeeze them or smash them, or, you know, anything like that. Put your reports in. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to add to, you know, that conversation there. No,
well, I just want to support what you're saying, because the control of this pest is very important to our food security on the island. You know, we've been having those conversations about food security in the Tobago space, and I think that everybody should really do their part. And this snail is a big threat to our food security. So when you see them, do your part, do the correct thing. Don't try to do it on your own, as Adana said. Reach out to the Division of Food Security, and their professionals would come in and handle the matter.
That's right. Right. So as Akilabi said before, we went to news. We're heading into the long weekend. There's so many things that can be happening over this weekend. There could be rest, relaxation, partying, eating, all sorts. Yes. I want to know what your plans are, guys.
For me, I plan to, I trying to catch up on some beauty sleep. And I think I want to go and relax on the beach and just have a nice, quiet, long weekend.
Well, on my end, you know, relaxation is very key. So I'll be having some rest and catch up on some stuff that I have outstanding.
And I also need to catch up on some stuff. I started off something, Abby, and I shared with you.
Yes.
And the consistency kind of was not there. So I have to repent this morning and, of course, get back on that train. So I'm hoping to be able to put in some of that this weekend as well. You know, together with some relaxation, some just chilling out and just enjoying life and giving God thanks for life.
Yes.
Right? So I do hope whatever we do this weekend, if your car be good, then be safe.
Yes.
So have a wonderful weekend, Bianna, and thank you so much for joining us on set this morning.
Same to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's my favorite time of the morning. It's the time for us to give our birthday shout-outs. And this morning, we start off the birthday shout-outs. We say happy birthday to
Miss Candice Grant. Happy birthday, Miss Candice Grant. We wish you God's richest blessings. We see you with that Vogue pose. We know you're going to feel special today. We hope all your loved ones come forward, shower you with gifts and love, and treasure you very much. Happy birthday, Miss Grant.
And next up, we want to say happy birthday to Janelle Joseph Rani. I hope I pronounced your surname correctly. We want to say happy birthday to you. We pray God's blessings upon your life. And we do hope that you have an amazing, amazing birthday. And we pray God's blessings upon your life. We also want to say happy birthday to Mr. Rodney Piggott. Rodney Piggott is also celebrating a birthday. So happy birthday to you, Rodney. We pray God's blessings upon your life. And even as you enter into the weekend, we hope that you have, you know, some things lined up and you're able to enjoy your birthday with family, friends, and loved ones. So happy birthday to you as well.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very, very special birthday coming up. We want to say happy birthday to our co-host and our star here at Tobago Updates. Happy birthday, Miss Adana Combi. We wish you God's richest blessings. The entire team here at Tobago Updates, we want to say that we love you, we cherish you, and we have something special lined up for you just now. You don't worry about it, and we hope that tomorrow you have God's greatest blessings. You have an awesome day, you have an awesome weekend filled with excitement and relaxation and everything else. But I think we have one more thing here for you. Ah, boy. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
You all realize that this is live, right?
Tobago Update says happy birthday, Adana.
Thank you. Oh, my goodness. You all know we live, right? Why are you all doing this?
We're very, very live.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you, guys, so much. Thank you to everybody here. Oh, my gosh.
We singing this song or no? We singing this song.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my goodness.
Happy
People.
birthday, Dana. Happy birthday to you.
Should we say how old are you now?
Oh my gosh, oh my god. It will be unbelievable if I reveal that. Everybody could be like, what? Are you serious? Listen, thank you guys so much. You really caught me off guard there. I mean, the birthday is tomorrow, but we begin to celebrate from today. Thank you all so much.
You're welcome. Although we didn't get the special salted caramel, I had that conversation with you.
I've been dying for a salted caramel carrot cake. I don't know who could mix that blend together for me, but those are the two flavors I wanted together in a cake. But I really do appreciate this gesture.
Yes.
And you all caught me off guard because I was not expecting this.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart, with all of my heart rather. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. I appreciate the efforts.
Yes.
And I just want our viewers to know that we have a good thing going here on the morning show, Tobago Updates family. We have a really, really good thing going. You should see, you don't want to be inside of our chats because when you come in there, you're wondering, what are these people talking about? But I like, the kind of rapport that we have. We could literally talk about almost anything. We pick on each other.
Yes.
We have nicknames for each other, and it's just really, really lovely to have that type of family kind of unit together in a workplace. It doesn't always happen. So I want to say, I really do appreciate you guys, and I ain't finna cry because that's not what I do. So thank you all very much.
Well, we hope that your celebrations tomorrow, go in your favor, and God riches blessings upon you.
Thank you so
Yes, and
much.
I think our producer would work on that salted caramel cake for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
look ting. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so very much. And of course, I give thanks to God for sparing my life, for bringing me this far, and for seeing me through a lot of hills and valleys and mountain tops and, rock bottom places. He has really brought me through. And I thank him for also allowing you to be a part of my journey and for bringing some smiles. On some days I come in here and I just don't have it. You all really carry me. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. All right. How else can I say thank you? Thank you also to the viewers who are saying happy birthday. Thank you, Mr. Rodney. You have your birthday today. Thank you so much, Pearl Murray Beard. Thank you, guys. I see Ruston Wood is saying the cake is sponsored by him, but I don't believe that at all. At all. Always jumping in my chat while the show is going on. Yes, I'm going to sell you out this morning. And thank you, Mommy. My mom is saying happy birthday, my dear daughter. Thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it. But we have to get on with the show. So, Akinlabi, who are we having conversations with this morning?
Okay, so this morning we're having conversations with Miss Ria Paria, Chairman, and Miss Valine Salino Kanan, and they are going to be talking about World Autism Month. Also, Marcus Daniel is going to be coming in for the sports segment, and he's going to be talking with Public Relations Officer Makan Heslop and Secretary Asha Melville, and they are coming to talk about Beyond the Boundary cricket tournaments.
Yes, and you want to be a part of that conversation, especially autism.
Yes.
Is something I feel we need to have a lot more education about and to, some more awareness and to support persons. We just, we were talking about Down syndrome on the 21st and now here we are. So we really want to keep those topics in the public space. So we do hope that you can stay with us throughout the entire programming this morning, whether you're viewing on our Facebook live stream, on our YouTube channel on AMPLIA 102 or on Flow 121 and 130, right here in Tobago, Trinidad, the Caribbean region, the United States of America, Canada, England, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, wherever you are. Thank you so much for choosing us, and this is your opportunity to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
The Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm. On Easter Weekend 2025, Tobago is the place to be. From April 17th to 20th, the rhythm, the soul of Tobago. On Thursday, April 17th, get ready for a worship experience at the Shore Park Complex with Melodies from Heaven. Melodies from Heaven. Then on Saturday, 19th April, immerse yourself in the sun, sea, and sand at the Buku Seafood and Jazz Festival, featuring legends of R&B. On Sunday, 20th April, we bring pulling the curtains down at Parade Grounds, Dwight York Stadium for Fusion. Get your tickets on islandetickets.com now or visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info. Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival 2025. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With AMPLIA TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with AMPLIA's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 gigabyte fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With AMPLIA, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. AMPLIA. Do more, live more.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. We begin our conversations this morning and we're heading into Autism Day, which is in April. And we have with us this morning the chairman of Autism Tobago, Ria Paria, and the vice chairman, Mrs. Valine Celino Kanan. And we're going to be talking about autism this morning. There's some information that you need to know. And I feel as if the public should be, a little bit more informed about situations and persons who have autism and how we treat them and care for them. Mm-hmm. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Adana.
Of course, a pleasure to have you ladies here with us this morning, looking so really, really nice. And so always so spoken and well, put together. But I want to get into, just last week we came out of celebrating Down Syndrome Day. Mm-hmm. And we know that there are lots of persons living, differently than us.
Yes.
They have different situations going on. And I feel as if it is very important for us to have conversations so that the average person understands that we are all different. We have different needs, we have different challenges, and we need different types of support. And so now we're talking about autism. So could you give us a brief overview of what autism is and how it can affect someone who has it?
Yes. Good morning again. Autism is a neurological disorder. That means it affects the brain. And because it affects the brain of the person, they have their challenges with senses and perceiving the world and so on around them and the environment. And they observe persons will observe the challenges in the main areas of communication or speech. You may have speech delays. They may have challenges also in socializing, making friends, just understanding, that kind of social setting. And of course, they will have the challenges in terms of just perceiving the world through their senses. So they may have challenges with light and sound and textures of food and tags in your clothes.
Yes.
So their senses, because of how their brain sometimes is hypersensitive, they're high pain, low pain thresholds. So it's a lot of things that are happening in the person's body, in their mind, because of the different wiring of the brain.
Correct. And sometimes, I believe that there's more education coming forward or more awareness happening now. So people kind of, coming to terms with the fact that people live differently in the same space.
And persons with autism, because it's a spectrum, you don't see one type of autistic person because it's a spectrum. So you go from level 1 to level 3, and sometimes you have people who don't speak, those who are highly intelligent, who seem quite normal because it is an invisible disorder. You don't see anything physical as you would with Down syndrome. You wouldn't see any physical features per se because of that brain. It's a brain disorder, right? So we accept the differences.
That's correct. And something I wanted to bring to light is how persons treat with people who have autism, especially because you have the heightened senses, like if it's too loud or too noisy or too quiet or too hot or too cold, they might react in a certain type of way because that's their coping mechanism. But some persons who do not understand, sometimes it becomes frustrating for them, especially when they don't realize, well, something is, not as normal as I am.
Yes.
And so they don't know how to treat with that person. How have you been able to manage situations where you are in that type of position, and you have to kind of explain to somebody, listen, we're different, and, this might not be affecting you, but it's affecting this person, so let's just give them some grace.
Tons of grace and compassion, because sometimes you take your child to the supermarket and, if something is too loud or something is, again, causing them to have a meltdown or something of the sort because something is hamburging their senses. I'm trying to use simple terms, and they are being affected by the light or the noise. And people will say, well, why is that person affected by that? Because they don't seem to be affected by the noise or the lights. And it's just for the persons to understand, okay, well, if you get an explanation from the parent, or you observe first before you judge. Observe first, because sometimes, it can be a reflection. Parents might think it's a reflection on me as a parent that my child is reacting this way in the concert or wherever they are. And you to have that fear of thinking people would not understand. And
I've seen that before as well, as you said, to kind of have patience and kind of understand what is happening, assess the situation, because I have seen, especially younger children, not being able to cope or understand yet. Yes, they haven't been able to regulate yet. And so they might have a tantrum, as you mentioned, in a supermarket. I have seen a child lying on the floor in a supermarket and screaming and hollering. And my initial thought was, what is wrong with that child? And then when I thought about it, what is wrong with you, Adana? Take a minute and walk around the corner to the supermarket and see what's happening. And you could see that the mother was there, flushed, frustrated, however, taking a breath and she just left the child. And that's what the child needed at that point in time. In about 2 minutes, the hollering was done. He was okay, and they kept it moving. So we just really, as you rightfully said, Rhea, have to give some grace where that is concerned. And so now we're celebrating Autism Day on April 2nd.
Yes.
Right? And so, of course, I know that Autism Tobago will be doing something and having a series of events where people, I am sure, can get more information and interact with the data that is out there where it is concerned. So I want to talk a little bit about that so people can know how to contact you, how to get information, and how to be a part of it, and how to be a part of the society that gives support not just to persons with autism, but persons who care for people with autism. So tell us a little bit about what's happening.
Okay, so this year, once again, we are coming out on the 2nd of April to launch the entire month. The 2nd of April is World Autism Awareness Day, but we will have a whole slate of activities for the entire month. So at 5 p.m. on the mall, we will be having our launch and opening of our information kiosk. And we will have a short program, and of course we will open the kiosk officially, invite persons to be a part of the celebration and all the other celebrations to follow for the remainder of the month. The Saturday immediately after, we'll be having our motorcade called Drive Blue from 1 p.m. This year, we extended the route a little bit. So we're starting from Store Bay and we're going all the way to Adventure Play Park in Plymouth, right? We'll have an online seminar on the 12th of April. That's where we give persons that information about autism. So it's open to everybody, not just parents and persons with autism. Yes. We'll be having information, a presentation from tentatively Dr. Windsor. It's entitled Putting the Pieces Together. So it's really to give person that deeper insights and deeper perspective into what autism is, what it's like living with autism, things to look for, and those sorts of things. And we'll also be having a presentation from a self-advocate. Yes. So somebody who actually has autism explaining what it has been like growing up with autism and what the challenges they would have faced during their time. After that, we have our grand awareness fair in Buku on the 26th of April at Buku Integrated Facility from 1 p.m. It was amazing last year, and we're hoping to make it even bigger and better this year. Come out with games for the kids, interact, get a better understanding of exactly what's going on, give the children a real opportunity to be themselves in a space that we are trying to craft specifically for them. And we are taking our walk to the east on the 30th of April from 10 a.m. Lamy Road to Sid Gray Stadium, where we spread awareness in the countryside.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I do hope that our viewers, of course, would, try to be a part of what is happening, especially the education part for me is very, very important. And sometimes when I talk about autism, because I have a young cousin who has autism, and a very close friend of mine, her son also is autistic. The most loving people you could find.
Yes.
Territorial,
yes,
but loving.
Yes.
And so very intelligent, and they're very, very straightforward with their likes and their I don't like.
Yes.
Correct.
I like this, I don't like this.
Correct.
Don't do this, don't do that. The younger one, he is 7, and the older one is turning 9. So young boys. But when I tell you, and the fact that there are activities for them to get involved in, they play sports, they go to school, they integrate with the community, but when it's too much for them, they kind of retreat and it's like, yo, this is enough. I've had enough and I'm going back in my little corner. But they interact, they are, and they have their own personality. So for me, I really want people to start to get to understand, because when the first time I kind of came to what autism is, I was a little bit confused. I must admit, I was confused and I couldn't understand. And then I thought to myself, let me try to figure this out. And I started with my friend, and I was like, it's a person, it's a human being, it's a person just dealing with experiencing life differently than I am.
Yes. I think that's the difference between awareness and acceptance. Taking the extra effort and going the extra mile to really understand what somebody's life is like with autism, and for somebody who takes care of somebody with autism, that is the key to acceptance, and that is the key to being an advocate, being able to edify others, being able to create space in society for us and for,
But how has it been in the Tobago space in terms of awareness, acceptance, and the level of support for the carers of people with autism? Because I know it is a high demand. One day the child, let's talk about dealing with children. One day the child I want to wear this yellow t-shirt every day for the rest of my life. And then this day you decide, this yellow t-shirt is ready and I'm putting it on. And he's like, I don't want it. I hate yellow. Just move it away from me. How do you deal? And what is the type of support that you get with that?
Well, I believe support starts in and then move out. So support of the family, having your relatives. I've met persons, not only those who have family members with autism, with different disabilities, and they don't know what disability the child has. And you're the grandmother or you're the aunt, and it's like, you're in the circle, you need to be aware, and you need to accept and understand that this is what you have to do. So the support must start in the smaller circle first, having the support of family members, having them understand that as parents, sometimes we need a 10-minute break, a little breather. You know, I mean, my son is 17 now, so I remember wishing for days just want to have an hour.
Right.
So I can slow down myself, you know. So having that smaller support system is very important. Your spouses. I mean, yes, there are challenges. And in one of our previous sessions where we brought the parents together to discuss how these special family members affect relationships, affect marriages, affect the siblings. You know, my older son would say, well, Mommy, how come Aiden is not talking to me? When they were smaller, he didn't understand why his brother didn't talk.
Right.
And then he would be talking in school non-stop, and his teacher would write, Michael talks too much in the support. You understand? So that small support is important. And then, of course, you have the support of your community, whether it's your church, your sports groups. I am so thankful for my church community and their support, you know, to have other persons just buy in and lend a hand, you know, while you have to, again, catch yourself.
Yes.
And then, of course, the support of the wider society. You go to the grocery, you go to the airport, you go on the boat.
Yeah.
Just having that support. And people need to edify themselves, even if you're not edifying yourself, because if you're not in something or you're not affected by something, you might not even want to go and read up or research about it. So take every opportunity that you encounter somebody in public as a learning opportunity. As you said, take a step back and learn from it. Because I was telling Valine, I say, I'm passionate about disabilities and spreading awareness about any disability. And I was assisting my friend last week with Down syndrome awareness. And there are still persons out there who confuse Down syndrome and autism, or they think it's the same thing. You know, they think it's the same thing. Well, you're rocking our socks for autism. I said, we don't rock socks for autism, we rock socks for Down syndrome. So there's still some clarity to be done to clarify that differentiating between Down syndrome and autism, because persons with Down syndrome can have autism. You can have combo disabilities. So I don't know, maybe that is why the people confuse it, but we still have work to do. We are passionate about sharing information, moving from awareness to acceptance, and we will continue to share the awareness, because I was really blown away by the fact that people thought it was the same thing, you know. So we really are working and trying our best to get our information out there.
Right. So I do hope that the viewers will come out from the 2nd of April. This is at which mall? This is the Lowlands Mall. From what time do you launch?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. on the 2nd of April at the Lowlands Mall. Autism Tobago will be there, and they'll be giving all the information you need to have about autism. A series of events taking place there. You can get all the information, the contact details, ask the questions you want to ask. The people who know about autism, they're going to be there. And trust me, there's always something new to learn. I'm sure by tomorrow they might learn something new. And you want to be a part of that as well. Lend the support, be in the know, awareness, acceptance, support.
Yes.
We all have to coexist, and so we all have to be good to each other. All right. So that's from the 2nd of April at the Lowlands Mall from 5 p.m. and you will get all the details there. They'll be there at the mall, I think, for the entire month.
For the entire
the
month,
kiosk will be there, so you could come, you could go through anytime and just get the information and speak to whomever is there to find out more. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming this morning and bringing that information to us. But we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio, because Mr. Cricket, Marcus Daniel, is in studio and he's going to be talking all things sports as we head on into the long weekend. So in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, this is my encouragement for you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
You've heard a voice on the radio, seen her in your worship, and have sung her songs during your time of praise. Sinesh.
Everybody now, let's go.
Sinesh comes to Tobago for Melodies from Heaven on April 17th. The Showpark Complex alights with praise and worship from 6 p.m. for Melodies from Heaven featuring Sinesh. Samuel Maydess.
You'll be the only one who's excited to call your name.
positive.
Me never could have changed my mind.
Blessed Messenger.
Give blood of Jesus over your family.
Renee Fortune and many more.
From my head to my feet.
Get your physical tickets now. Tickets are also available online at islandetickets.com. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info or call 639-4441. April 17th at Show Park Complex. Melodies from Heaven. Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival 2025. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm.
Guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago, so it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Lights, camera, fashion. Tobago Fashion Coda returns with the Gala. Featuring icons of Caribbean couture. Claudia Pegas, CLD, Eclipse Eli, Fluorescent Black, Neha Karina, and other leading and emerging designers. This quintessential fashion extravaganza blends high fashion with culinary artistry and star-studded entertainment. A true celebration of creativity, culture, and sophistication. Friday, April 18th, Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort. Tobago Fashion Coda 7.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Hi viewers, welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. It's Friday 28th March and we are here yet again for another sport talk. Yes, let me say thanks so much to Adana and the guys for holding down in the first half hour. And I'm also told tomorrow is Adana's birthday. So let's wish Adana happy birthday in advance. And Adana, I'm telling you on air, I need that cake. Hold on. I'll take a slice, Adana. All right? Let me say good morning once again, and let me say good morning to the guests on set with us this morning. Boys on the Hill Alumni Association. I have Mr. Macan Hayes up with me, of course, Public Relations Officer, and Ms. Asha Melville, right? Secretary of the Alumni Association coming out of Boys on the Hill. Why not Signal Hill, though?
Listen, there's been various things happening with regards to the alumni up at Signal Hill, and we have different organizations seeking the interests of the school and also to represent the school well.
Right.
And the Boys on the Hill came out of a situation where activity was kind of stagnant at the Signal Hill, and there still were boys who were willing to play for the alumni events and be part of the whole alumni movement in Tobago.
Right.
So that's where the Boys on the Hill came from.
Okay, and obviously it's still in partnership and collaboration with the school. Okay, well, let's tell me a little bit more about the Boys on the Hill organization. You are the public relations officer.
Yes, sir.
And secretary.
Yes,
tell me about the president and all these people involved.
All right. Well, the president currently is Philroy Douglas.
Right.
We have other members like Desmond Phillip. We have Talia George is her name. George, yes.
Right.
And we have other members who come in and out of the planning committee for what, depending on the type of event we're having.
Right, and a little bit more about the organization, stuff that you guys have been involved with, what you hope to achieve by forming this organization. Because, and I'll get to Asha as well, talking about alumni life in Tobago, because in Trinidad and other parts of the region, it's a strong movement. Let's tell me about the organization first and what you hope to achieve as an organization.
Well, all alumni have the main purpose of supporting their alma mater, and we are the same. We have initiatives that we have spearheaded to try to bring some funding to the school. We've provided some school supplies to some students, and we also having events trying to help. One of the goals is to help certain classes in the school, certain aspects of the school, especially on the social side of things. We have different social events. We've had one in the car park there, kind of a lime. Well, we also have different sporting events that we participate in and also plan for ourselves. One of the impetus to form the group was obviously the Capture the Flag event, which is one of the main alumni events on the island. And coming out of that, the group figured that we could do something different, which is part of the reason why we're here this morning.
Yeah, we can talk about that. We can talk about that just now.
The main aim of the alumni or any alumni is to bring alumni together, to rekindle that old school spirit, and hopefully do things that could benefit the school ultimately. So that's where we're about.
Fantastic. And Asha, alumni life, right, in Tobago, because it's much more than probably participating in the Capture the Flag and probably having a line. But it's because you mentioned that you give school supplies as well. And if you talk to alumni organizations in Trinidad, for example, because most of them come to Tobago to have a sweat or to have some kind of event. Just tell me about your take on the alumni life in Tobago, if it's strong and what's needed to get it better and bigger.
Well, currently it isn't that strong. And that is why Boys on the Hill has started doing these kind of events. Because what we intend is to have, as Magan likes to say, an ethos of camaraderie. Having something to do outside of school. Because, life captivates us after we leave.
Of course.
We have families, alumni persons now have families, children, responsibilities. And there isn't much for us to do where fun is concerned. And so we intend to bring fun back into our generation after having been bombarded by responsibility over a period of time. So what Boys on Hill wants to do is to take us a bit away from the competitive nature of events with respect to alumni and bring the fun back into it.
I love the idea. And obviously you guys are here this morning to talk about an event that you have upcoming. So Makan, tell me about that.
It should be right up your alley. It should be right up your alley.
That sounds like cricket way.
Listen. And I really like the name of the event. It's called Beyond the Boundary.
Beyond the Boundary. Wow, right.
It's a wind ball competition. It's cricket.
Oh my gosh.
I know this is your bread and butter. And although it's a tournament, as the name suggests, beyond the boundary. So beyond all the boundaries that we'll be hitting, obviously past Cabro, SEC, and the different schools participating, I really wanted to say that the aim of the competition is to go beyond the boundary, beyond the scores, beyond the winning, beyond the competitive nature, as Asha alluded to. We're really trying to get onto the ethos of camaraderie. We want to really get to the whole vibes of coming together, seeing your old schoolmates coming out and being like, listen, hey, what's going on with you now? What's going on with life? It's been so long. Look how this has changed. Look how things have remained the same. You know, those kind of conversations you usually have around the bar or around when you're bouncing up with your old school friend on the mall or on the beach and you're reminiscing on the old time. So while the cricket going on and Marcus flung down trying to stop the Boys on the Hill, we can have some picong before, after, and it should just be that whole atmosphere of bringing people together. And that's what we're really hoping for.
Yeah, so tell me about the nature of the events, the venue, the dates, and all these different things.
So, Asha, I'll let you come in here.
Sure. So it will be hosted on the 12th of April. That would be the Saturday post school's closing.
12th of, okay.
Yes, the first weekend after school closes for the Easter break. It will be at the Sid Gray complex, right in Roxborough, at the car park. You know, that is the
country life, man. Country life.
That
Trust
is
me, if there's one thing, when you go to the eastern side of Tobago, and sometimes north side as well too, you always get that support from the community. And that car park, I mean, I've had good memories at that car park, you know, and then obviously the spectator aspect of it as well, because the cars passing along there, man. Wait, cricket? Best sport in the world? Let me stop and take it. Let me stop and take it. Let me stop and take it.
That's the big
Let me stop and take it. So I'm sure, I'm thinking that is probably part of the conversation why you chose Roxborough.
Definitely.
Fantastic. Not because Roxborough asked up there, right?
No bias. No bias.
No.
So the 12th of April, it's going to be all day, one day. It's a one-day event?
It's a one-day event, and it starts at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Yes.
So you're going to have lights as well?
Yes. We're going until it's finished. It's a T10, so it's not going to be very long. Yeah.
Okay. And how many alumni have responded to the request, of course, to participate?
Currently, we have 4 other than the hosting team, Boys and Hills. So we have Scarborough Secondary, we have Speyside Secondary, competition, right? We have Mason Hall, we have, I call it Speyside.
Yeah, Speyside, right?
And then we have Roxborough Sec, of course, and Boys and Hills.
How are you treating with the situation, right? For those who would have gone to like Scarborough Sec and then would have gone up to Compre. So how are you treating with that?
You have to choose your poison.
So you have to choose.
You have to choose your poison, pick your team, and sit down.
And make some phone calls today.
No. Transfer window's been closed. You have to come with big money. No. In those situations, and that is a troubling situation, and as I said, it's not that serious of a thing for the competitive side of things. If it is somebody wants to play Scarborough Sec because they maybe have a wife from Scarborough Sec and they can't have no problems in the house. Listen, you don't have to have no special reason. You don't have to make it all complicated. The idea is we want to have teams out, persons from the alumni come together and meet with your people. Now, if you have your Scarborough Sec people, your Compre people, there will be no squabbling and fighting after none of that. Everybody must come together, and you could jump up with your blue, you could jump up with your green, you know, hug up a Roxborough friend, eat some fish broth. Listen.
So you're having all those things on the day. You have vendors and concessionaires.
Niceness.
But before we get into that, because I like playing cricket and eating as well, and also drinking water. You know? But in terms of the rules and regulations, because it's not that serious, is it going to be like an age and gender mix up as well? Because you don't want a situation. Let me answer, you don't want a situation. Is it going to be like the team just pick anybody they want, or you have to have 2 over 40s or things like that? Or female in the team. Tell me about that.
Well, we have some rules specifically for that purpose. Each team must have at least one female on it. At least
female,
one. Okay. And the aim of the thing is to bring the alumni out. We're not looking to get persons in school currently, training every day, doing backflips, and knees strong. We want to see some knee bands, some back braces, and some
alumni,
some sports band.
That
is what we're kind of looking for now. So as much as possible, we're trying to ask teams to bring out your alumni. We've had situations in different competitions where you have to like really sit down and debate, is this person currently in school? Are they in sixth form? Are they in this? We're not aiming to, if a team is short and a team have indicated that they're struggling to find alumni to play. And in that instance, we have given some leniency to active persons in the school. But for the most part, all the teams are able to field full alumni teams.
Full alumni. Okay.
Full alumni.
So teams are already registered already?
Yes.
Okay, so what are some of the names you have been seeing? I mean, because I am excited about this, not because it's only cricket.
Yes, you are. Don't pretend. Yes,
not because it's only cricket, but it's just trying to get alumni life in Tobago because, I mean, all of us, we went to school in Trinidad and Tobago, right? And if I have people from the different alumni associations coming together, not for football or cricket, but just to come and have a good time and, hey, how long ago, where you going? I ain't see you for a long time, all them different things in that sense. I'm looking forward to it specifically. I was hoping that you could have gotten all the schools to participate.
Well, that would be a challenge now. This is our first cricket event. And the next one, don't worry, we'll bring you on board as a special advisor.
Yes.
You'll help us work out the logistics to have these, have all the teams participate. But for now, it's a good starting place.
It's a good starting place.
We actually originally had it for 4 teams and Mason Hall recently showed interest and was able to field a team because we initially had Hammonds included, but they were having some issues.
For the 12th? Because 12th is Saturday, right? Saturday?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so that, understand.
Because we originally had it for Sunday.
Yeah, we changed
and when they were unable to because we initially changed the day to accommodate them.
Right.
But then when they were unable to field a team that had different issues, we said, you know what, we could bring it back to Saturday. And it would make the logistics easier. And it's so fortunate that we have like additional teams coming in now, so we have more opportunity to bring more persons together, which is the goal of the event.
So as we speak here now, let's say a bishop or another school, they request to join, that's going to be accepted?
Well, I wouldn't say accepted. We'll take it into consideration. So if bishops is so interested or any other school, having seen this, reach out to myself or to Asha. It's easy to find. We're on Facebook and we have a Instagram page.
This Boys on the Hill?
Yes.
Okay.
So reach out to the group, send a message, and let us know that you're interested, and we can see what we could do.
So tell me about the format, Asha. Tell me about the format. It's going to be wrong robin or teams pulling. What the format is going to be like?
Well, we are observing ICC.
Right.
With a few tweaks, because we have females playing with males. So we don't want it to be a case where we are being over-dominated by your male strength.
Because I do like wing-ball events, right? And obviously, because we don't have like a lot of females participating, I try to incorporate them with the guys. And then we have special rules for the ladies. Like a guy bowling to a lady, you have to probably wrong your arm.
Right.
We have that rule.
So, and if you're facing a lady, you have to battle the opposite.
There you go.
So you have that.
You seem to be familiar with the rules.
And
were you spying on the committee? Is Cargo Sex sending spies to our meetings?
I wonder.
This seems to be.
But I like that idea. I think it will make the females feel at home.
Yes.
Because they don't want that guy, obviously, stoning a guy. You're calling it stoning.
We're not having that.
Yeah, stoning. So 5 teams you have registered, right?
Yeah.
5 teams registered. Are we going to have what? A round robin, knockout? How are we going to do it?
We're going to do it via round robin.
Round robin?
Yeah.
From 2 p.m. with no lights.
We're hoping for the best.
You're hoping for the best.
No. We have, the idea is to get everybody playing, everybody have a look. Put your kids on the, bring your kids, have them sit down, watch the game. There's going to be a bouncy castle out there.
Okay.
We're going to have different prizes. I guess we have actually a prize for the alumni with the most vibes.
What way?
So everybody bring your vuvuz wheelers.
Hey, was secondary. I told this guy was secondary seriously. We don't make joking. Boy, you know, there's not some people as well, right?
Of course. And we just comes and pay dividends. We send them back to you with a little bit more oomph in the step. So you're welcome. You're welcome.
So outside of the cricket, obviously those with families, you can bring your children and have a good day up there in terms of concessionaires as well. So, I mean, turn on the pot that day. I come up the road.
But now we actually trying to put something in place. It hasn't been secured yet, but I'm going to still put it out there for persons to get excited. We want to ask some of the local fishermen, whatever they catch that day, come and set up by this thing while we play, the vibes going on, the fish butt brewing. Somebody could smell that thing and get distracted and get.
You see that?
We have things we're trying to put in place, and we're trying to create a experience so that when you leave there, you could say, "Boy, hey boy, watch out, Deborah again. Deborah get nice and slim, and she maintain that for all of that, boy."
Boy, some question concern. So fantastic, and obviously this is also to marry the capture the flag. So after the football, you go into the cricket. And hopefully, Company can try to win the cricket because I mean the football is a different story in a way.
But the thing is, this is what I'm talking about. You see this kind of pickup? And we are good afterwards. It didn't have to get all that steamy. We could sit down, eat with fish broth, cough, big your chest.
And reminisce.
You understand?
Yeah, fantastic. And in terms of the prizes, what are the teams playing for?
We have. Go ahead.
Drinks.
Oh my gosh.
Firstly, we have a challenge trophy.
A challenge, fantastic.
Although we do not want to give the impression that we are trying to create a capture the flag event, it's still going to be a challenge trophy.
A challenge.
We're capturing this trophy every year. It's going to be an annual. We have pedicures and beard bosses, sponsors involved and stuff for the females that would win our competition. Well, they would be given a special prize. So like
the best female. So you have individual awards as well.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can take. We have motions there.
Yes, we do.
What's the price of motions? I feel like I can take that.
A good shaker.
So you have individual awards as well, and you care to mention those as well, if you have it often. And you can probably tell me about the sponsors because I mean, outside of probably going around and asking the association to raise funds. Tell me about the sponsors that you have on board.
So we have sponsors primarily we had alumni contributing. So we have alumni of different schools that are giving to us via donations. So most of the prizes came through alumni.
Right.
Yes.
Please mention a few of them I have here.
Yes.
I see Downtown Fitness, gym membership.
Right.
I see
gym membership. What prizes are one there? that's the first prize.
Highest individual score.
Right, let me see. I can...
Listen.
I feel like it's that one.
Get your bang, knees at the back.
I feel like it's that one.
I'll be looking for best catch. A bundle from Beard Boss.
I mean,
big up Beard Boss one time in a way. No, I'm an ambassador for Beard Boss.
Right.
Big up Beard Boss one time. Yeah. Because
and we have the trophy. We have medals. We have some cases of drinks. I think I'm seeing here soft glam by Bliss, by Chris. We have different sponsors, but I'm still seeking more. So if anybody's out there feeling generous, as we have more teams coming in, we try to include more prizes so there's more opportunities so that you can go and jump up with your crowd now.
Yeah.
You might be a little sad, but you can still jump up and you know what, clean your face, go and pump some iron down by
that's fantastic. I mean, the price is sounding really good. And in terms of this, you mentioned all the sponsors there, and they're looking for more. So for those who come on board, thank you all so much for coming on board and supporting this initiative. Because I mean, we need to find more events like this. Going into the communities and having events, not just cricket, football, basketball, whatever it is.
Yes, of course.
Get people doing activities that positively impact the country itself. Because I mean, it's just something is happening with young people. You know?
Yeah, boy.
So I'm really hoping that, you know, outside of the alumni showing up, the public of Roxborough and environs come out and support the event. I mean, you have food, you have drinks.
Right.
And what about entertainment as well?
So we have DJs song, Showtime song machine coming there to jam something.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
And we are working on some nice MCs because we're keeping that one secret.
Yeah,
we want
wow.
them to come and
So you have commentary too, like live commentary?
Yeah.
Well, we talking to this guy, Daniel, boy. We want to call some big prices for his expertise, but
Daniel, well, you know Daniel.
This Daniel guy, boy. This Daniel guy. Some people just call him Mr. Cricket and all kind of things. I'm not sure if you know him.
Wow, boy.
I
heard about him, you know.
Listen, he ain't terrible ways, you know. When it comes to cricket, he know his stuff.
I heard about him, Maybe continue
You never know that if we get a sponsor could afford his high prices. I don't know if somebody's moved in the heart to say, listen, this is an initiative I want to support.
I'm loving the package in a way, entertainment, commentary, because you know, cricket and commentary, it goes hand in hand in that sense, you know. I mean, I'm so excited about this event, not because it's cricket, not because it's
just maybe a little bit.
But because, I mean, out of probably the 8 secondary schools we have 5 participating, and next year it's going to be bigger and better. Having seen all the pictures, because we're going to have photography and all these different things, right?
For sure, we live in social media era, you know.
Yeah, man.
Make sure you put on your best side. And you're not so best side. And we're going to catch both of them.
And obviously, all teams must be fully uniformed as well. Looking forward to that. So, I mean, we're looking to wrap. I mean, once again, I can repeat to the viewers, the place to be on April 12th.
I'll let you do this one. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I did it the first time, so now she can give you all the details.
We will be at Sid Gray Complex Car Park from 2 p.m.
And for those who don't know where Sid Gray is,
in Roxborough.
Roxborough.
In what's Tobago second town?
Yes, second town. Roxborough,
Yeah. We will be there on Saturday, April the 12th, from 2 p.m. Bring your family, bring your vibes, and bring your teams.
Yes, bring your team, bring your supporters. And there's a prize for the biggest crew. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'll work on that. I was acting at one time. Any upcoming events after this one?
Well, I mean, we exploring the different sporting events, and I am actually really interested in a beach soccer event.
Right. And we have the facilities.
So we're really trying to capitalize on the not so frontline sporting events that we could bring to the
I understand.
And generate interest in different types of activity in Tobago at different places. Because this is all about bringing community together. The community we're looking at right now is the alumni community, but we want to move it around the place to different spaces and different types of event. And as the name suggests, is beyond the boundary, beyond the score, beyond the winning and all of that. It's just for everybody to come together.
Yeah, I like that because, and as you rightfully mentioned, not everyone plays football or cricket or basketball or netball. So the beach soccer, even our volleyball, because I mean...
Listen, something we actually consider it, is even all fours.
All fours,
Really,
and that's do you call it a sport? It's a game. But it's a growing, well, like, not calling industry, but people are gravitating to all fours.
Yes.
I mean, I used to play that and unbeaten still, but I don't play anymore.
Wow.
I mean, you look like a kind of fella who goes like Jack and thing, and bullseye and thing,
But it's a really relaxing sport, and anyone can play it once you learn it, in that sense.
Yeah,
that's true.
And it's the picong. I like the picong sport, and I like the picong. As for those who can take it. For those who can take it. But I'm looking forward to those events, Macan, and to you and your organization. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to the 12th of April. I need to have a conversation with Scarborough so I come up here to ensure that we start putting things in place. We had to train. We had to get the females up and running as well, because men want to target them females, but Scarborough, we are known as a sporting hub in Tobago when it comes to
really?
sport.
That one wasn't on Tobago update.
I've never heard that before.
We bleed blue and blue. I'm bleed Tobago.
Breaking news. Breaking news. You've heard it here first.
Yes, you heard it here first. But beyond the boundary, fantastic team as well. And we're looking to go beyond the boundary in Roxborough on April 12th. All about the Boys on the Hill cricket tournament. Yes, we're looking forward to the camaraderie, looking forward to the love and the fun on that day. Glorious prizes to be won. Of course, I'm sure Tobago Up there is going to be there to capture all the events. And maybe you get a voice of Mr. Cricket as well. Talking about the events. And maybe you can interview Mr. Cricket afterwards.
This Mr. Cricket is like, listen, he's growing in stature by the minute. This guy, this Daniel guy, is growing.
But thank you guys so much for being here this morning. I'm sure the word is now out, and everyone will be looking at the calendars and trying to book to get to Tobago, obviously because we are people from Trinidad who want to come across and enjoy the vibes as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. Viewers, thank you so much for tuning into the sporting segment this morning. We're going to show you guys over to Candice Jackson for Good Morning Tobago. Don't forget to share the live, share the live, share the live.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
To mainly focus on disease of cocoa. Black pod and witch's broom are currently in Trinidad and Tobago, and we're going to give some sensitization about frosty pod, which is a disease that's in the region that could have devastating impacts to the cocoa industry. The reason why these are so problematic, they affect the economic part. It doesn't necessarily kill the tree, but it makes the farmers feel less productive.
Today, the focus is on identifying the diseases of cocoa towards rehabilitation and restoration of the cocoa. So, as you know, we have one of the finest cocoa in Trinidad and Tobago, and we don't want to lose that genetic stock, and therefore this particular training today is for that.
I believe it's important to renew your information and to be up to date with what is taking place. And we learned that the frosty pod disease is just in our neighboring Venezuela, so we have to be on the lookout for that particular disease and to know what to do in the event that he gets here.
So this workshop or training will help facilitate, refreshing the knowledge that officers have and putting things in place so we can get these cooperatives back up and running, back up at production, optimal production at that.
Really is looking at conserving biodiversity and taking on agroecological practices to now look at the agricultural landscape and see how we could better the landscape using that. So the Barrage is really for the landscape, the productive landscapes of Trinidad and Tobago.
I think it's a good idea that the different agencies come on board with the division and with the ministry by extension. Because the ministry cannot do it all alone, so these agencies will help bring information to us extension officers and our wider farmers in Tobago.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
On Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region, with the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine. I am Candace Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds for Friday, 28 March 2025. Tourism Secretary Tashia Burris is defending the nearly $1 million in overseas travel expenses, insisting efforts to boost Tobago's airlift are not a failure. At yesterday's plenary sitting, she cited financial constraints and a lack of authority over air service agreements as major challenges in securing airlift. Minority Leader Kelvin Morris questioned the benefits of the spending, noting no new airlines had been secured. Boris argued that Tobago lacks the central government funding previous THA administrations enjoyed, but assured discussions with airlines and tour operators are ongoing. Now, nationally, opposition leader Kama Prasad Bisesa unveiled the UNC's economic plan ahead of the April 28th general election. Prasad Bisesa pledged to lower corporate taxes, scrap property tax, and simplify business regulations. She emphasized international trade, education reform, including mandatory Spanish in schools, and revitalizing the energy sector. She also promised infrastructure upgrades, tax incentives for workforce training, and stronger CARICOM trade ties. UNC Chairman Dave Tanku criticized government spending, citing economic decline and job losses, while urging for greater accountability. And finally, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio reassured Prime Minister Stuart Young that American policies would not negatively impact Trinidad and Tobago's energy sector, despite U.S. sanctions on Venezuela. The Dragon Gas deal remains on track, with the U.S. recognizing TNT's vital role in regional energy security. Young highlighted TNT's strong diplomatic ties with Venezuela and ongoing domestic energy initiatives, including the Manatee Field set for 2027. He also addressed concerns about rising Caribbean freight costs. While the renewal of the OFAC license remains uncertain, Young stated discussions with the U.S. remain cordial and constructive. And that was the news in 90 seconds. But before we get into the rest of our program this morning, let's go for a break and we'll see you in a few minutes.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Welcome to the Buku Seafood and Jazz Festival on April 19th, 2025. We invite you to an evening of smooth rhythms and soulful music as the sun dips behind Buku Bay. Let all your senses be tantalized. Enjoy an array of seafood dishes, browse crafts and designs created by local artisans, and lose yourself in the soulful melodies of John Sakata, Brian McKnight,
It's undeniable that we should be together.
Bonnet Bigford,
When the lightning crack the waters and the waves roll and break.
Mikal Tasia,
Where else I go, without you, my life.
and the best of Tobago's talent. Get your physical tickets now. Tickets are also available online at islandetickets.com. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info or call 639-4441. The Buku Seafood and Jazz Festival, April 19th at Buku Integrated Facility. Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival 2025. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong and the vibes is never wrong.
Good morning, Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, now we are switching our conversation to something a little bit environmental this morning. And I am speaking with somebody that you would have gotten to know a little bit last year when he did a historic swim from Tobago to Trinidad. But today he's going to be speaking about something else that's happening within the space. And that is, of course, none other than Mr. John Prokop. So good morning and welcome to you, sir. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. And thanks again for having me on the show.
All right, great. So now one of the things that one of the reasons why you did that swim was to raise some environmental awareness. And today you are here to speak about another part of environmental awareness and environmental issues, and that has to do with noise pollution.
That's correct.
Especially in the western end of Tobago.
Yes, particularly in Crown Point and the area that most people know as the Strip.
Yes.
Yes.
So tell us what's been going on there.
Well, I did raise concerns and try to raise awareness about the devastating impacts of climate change and overfishing and pollution on our ocean when I was doing the swim. And this is a topic that deals directly with another form of pollution and one that many people really don't recognize.
Yes.
But there is a clue in the main marketing thrust, the promotional phrase for Tobago that is being used to promote us all over the world. And that is that Tobago is clean, green, and serene.
Safe and serene, yes.
And we all know that Tobago is green, and we hope very much to keep the island as clean as possible. But when it comes to the serenity, if you notice, there's a sort of a shift and a separation between foreign tourists, foreign visitors to the island, and local tourists or regional tourists. So a lot of the local tourists who come to Tobago tend to stay on the western end predominantly, and mostly people coming over from Trinidad like to come to Tobago to relax, unwind, but also to party. So it's sort of like a party island vibe, especially in the western end, in Crown Point. But a lot of the foreign visitors who come from other countries, they tend to come because of what has been advertised to them on the foreign market, which is that Tobago is clean, green, and serene. So you find that a lot of the foreign visitors tend to seek out locations like Castara, for example, where they can sort of get the vibe that they've come seeking. And that is unfortunately, to a very large extent, compromised in the Crown Point area on the Strip, which is unofficially recognized as the party zone. The problem is that it's one thing to have party, and of course, you know, music is our culture, but noise is not our culture. And one of the things that Trinidad and Tobago should be respected for is that we are a country that is lawful and that provides fair laws to all of our citizens as well as our visitors. And so this brings me directly to the problem that we've been experiencing in Crown Point, in and around the Strip for quite some time, which is noise pollution. And that's it in a nutshell.
Well, so what do you suggest, though, that should happen? Because, as you mentioned, the noise is a concern, but it's also part of the culture.
Yes.
It also caters to a demographic of visitors that come to our island.
Absolutely.
But it happens to be in a space where there's a lot of residents as well.
Yes.
So, well, how should we balance the situation so that we can still offer that bit of an experience to our visitors, but yet be respectful of the people that live there?
Well, I'm so glad you asked that question, because that is exactly what I'm here to discuss, the solution. And it's a fairly easy solution. It does require some support from the government, but in order to allow people who live in Crown Point, which is a residentially zoned area, it's not as if we're trying to battle against a different kind of zoning. It's not zoned for parties or events. It's zoned for recreation. So legally, the law of the land, which states that 65 decibels is the limit to which music can be played, is not respected at all in the Crown Point area. Then the thing is, all we need to do is assist the various bar owners and club owners who have establishments on the Strip with soundproofing. Everywhere that people go in the world and they want to go and party and go to bars, etc., where loud music is played, soundproofing is a necessary feature, because the residents in the area have a lawful right to enjoy their private property
and peace.
Their private property peacefully. Yeah? And so when we make a call to the Crown Point Police Station, bless them, they try their best. They send out their patrols. The patrols ask the offending bars or clubs or cars, which are playing their music very loudly with their speaker systems and heavy bass, they ask them to turn the music down. And they turn the music down, and then the patrol leaves and they turn the music back up, because there is no consequence. Now, if you go into the Crown Point Police Station and you look up on the notice board, you will see the Summary Offences Act. And this details all of the action that can be lawfully taken by police in order to preserve private citizens' right to enjoy their private property peacefully. And the police are allowed to fine people if they go and they ask that the music is to be turned down because somebody has called in with a complaint that this music is disturbing them at home. And they are allowed by law to warn the offenders and then fine the offenders. However, in Crown Point, the police do not fine the offenders because they believe that they do not have the authority to do so. And this is the crux of the issue, because in the station, it clearly says in black and white that they are allowed to do so. However, if you have a one-on-one conversation with one of the police officers at Crown Point Police Station, for example, they will also inform you that they do not have the necessary sound testing equipment in order to decipher whether or not the music is actually being played at a level that is higher than 65 decibels. And so this is like a little gap that you have in the law. So I have a suggestion, a very simple suggestion, that the EMA work with the police as they've done many times in the past. In fact, we were part of a noise pollution symposium a few years ago, and a lot of positive agreements were made, but unfortunately not much was done in the follow-up.
And interestingly, we see that conversation even popping up on the political platform, because I think it was earlier this week, we heard from one of the parties in Trinidad speaking about the need to, whether it is a tightening, increase the penalties, fix that law or adjust something so that, you know, noise pollution could be dealt with, especially in residential areas.
Absolutely. That's a really good point, to fix the law, because the law is not the most sensible law. 65 decibels is really not that loud. So I can understand why people would want to disregard the law. I think that it needs to be looked at. I think that the decibel level could be raised. Okay, and then once it's raised, I think people will pay more attention, be more respectful to staying within those boundaries and abiding by the law. However, what I think needs to be done is a joint exercise, which is actually not that extensive because the area is very small, but a joint exercise nonetheless that happens between the Environmental Management Agency, the EMA, and the police in the various areas, so specifically Crown Point for the purpose of this conversation. And they go together to all of the establishments and they have a brief meeting with the owners and the management staff who are operating the particular bars or clubs, and they set a limit on the volume so that the DJs, the MCs, whoever is playing the music knows that this is the volume, the maximum volume that corresponds with the law. And so they are aware of the level at which they can legally play their music. If they want to play their music louder than that, I think that the government should step in and assist these operators in soundproofing their establishments so that they can play their music loudly, but at the same time, residents are not going to be disturbed. And there's another advantage to this. If the music is kept at a legal level, and if there is soundproofing in the establishments, then the crowd can still continue to go and enjoy their music. But now, instead of being on the strip and hearing music from this bar and music from that bar,
which becomes just noise after a while.
Which becomes just a sound clash, which becomes just noise. Then you can actually enjoy the music of the establishment. So that actually improves the quality of the entertainment and the experience that is afforded.
Now, how do you soundproof a bar or something that has a little bit of an outside experience? Because, I mean, in the Caribbean, we like that outside experience. It's part of the culture. It's part of, you know, what makes it special, you know?
Absolutely. But here in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, we are supposed to provide law and order for all of our citizens and our visitors. So safety and law and order is obviously the first priority. When it comes to keeping an establishment that is open air, which is more conducive to the environment, as you say, that people want in the Caribbean, in Tobago, then that's very simple. Either you play your music at the loudest possible limit that is within the law. And there you go. It's a very simple exercise. I'll give you an example. If I'm driving and I make a U-turn where I'm not supposed to, even though I'm licensed and insured and doing my best to be as aware of other people on the road, I've still made a mistake. I've still disregarded the signs, and so I am fined by the police. That's fairly simple. If I'm breaking the law by playing my music louder than the legal limit, and I am causing disturbance, especially continual chronic disturbance to residents in the area, then I can be warned, which is even more generous than what happens on the road, because you're not necessarily warned at all. It depends. But you can be warned, and then if you continue, then you will be fined. And therefore, people will learn that they must respect the law.
And that is something seriously that we need to consider.
Yes, and the thing is, it doesn't mean that you can't play the music. You just need to play it at
and then maybe when it's at a lower level, then we can actually have more conversations and more interactions with each other instead of having to shout at each other.
Exactly. And most of the time, people are at lounges and bars where they want to have conversation. Right. So really and truly, it just takes a little bit of out-of-the-box thinking and a little bit of consideration, and then the problem is solved for all intents and purposes.
Certainly.
And there's something I wanted to mention, that Crown Point is the first impression that Tobago gives to visitors, because most visitors come through the airport. And therefore, we have one chance to make a good first impression on people coming to Tobago. And so Crown Point needs to be clean, green and serene like the rest of the island.
Right.
And yes, we can enjoy the music and the festivities, but let's do so in a way that is fair to everybody.
And that's where we're going to have to leave this conversation. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Prokop, for being here with us. Certainly, thank you for your continuous environmental advocacy.
Gracious.
And I know we'll be speaking again, and hopefully this message gets out and it could start at least the change in the thinking about how we deal with music and making sure we respect people around and create a wonderful experience for everybody to be around. So thank you again so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
And viewers, we had to go for a break, but we'll be back in just a couple minutes, so don't you go anywhere.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor, to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago.
You've heard a voice on the radio, seen her in your worship, and have sung her songs during your time of praise. Sinesh.
Everybody now, let's go.
Sinesh comes to Tobago for Melodies from Heaven on April 17th. The Shore Park Complex alights with praise and worship from 6 p.m. for Melodies from Heaven featuring Sinesh.
I shall not want. The Lord has provided.
Samuel Madas.
You'll be the only one who's excited to call your name.
Positive.
Me never could have changed my mind.
Blessed Messenger.
The blood of Jesus over your family.
Renee Fortune and many more.
From my head to my feet.
Get your physical tickets now. Tickets are also available online at islandetickets.com. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info or call 639-4441. April 17th at Shore Park Complex. Melodies from Heaven. Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival 2025. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm.
Lights, camera, fashion. Tobago Fashion Coder returns with the Gala, featuring icons of Caribbean couture, Claudia Pegas, CLD, Eclipse Eli, Fluorescent Black, Neha Karina, and other leading and emerging designers. This quintessential fashion extravaganza blends high fashion with culinary artistry and star-studded entertainment. A true celebration of creativity, culture, and sophistication. Friday, April 18th, Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort. Tobago Fashion Coder 7.
Get ready for the Adrenaline Main Ridge Forest Fitness Challenge 2025. Are you up for the ultimate test of endurance with a thrilling 20K race? Or would you prefer a fun and relaxed 5K walk or run? With an incredible pool of over 20,000 TT dollars in prizes to be won, it's time to rally your running buddies and make unforgettable memories. Don't miss out. Get registered and be part of the excitement.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, now we are switching our conversations and having a chat with Assemblyman for Mason Hall Moriah, and that is in the form of Mr. Ian Pollard, and who is also the Secretary of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, Candice, and good morning to the constituents of Mason Hall Moriah and wider viewing audience, the World Wide Web.
All right, now for the first part of this conversation, we're just going to get into some of the developments that are happening within the housing sector. And I want to start with what's been happening with disaster funding for those residents that were affected. And I've been told that there's quite a lot of them that are in need and have been in need for quite a while. So give us an idea of just a scope of, first of all, of what is the problem and where we're at in trying to help these people.
Well, Candice, I undertook the plenty of looking back from 2005, the number of homes destroyed through natural disasters. I got the record from the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Services and from TEMA. And it was 167 persons who have lost their homes through natural disaster. Now everyone knows that we are partnering with Habitat for Humanity, which seeks international funding. I thought it fitting that we have some collaboration with Habitat for Humanity to seek funding from outside agencies to at least assist these persons rebuild, because some persons have not rebuilt their homes since then.
Since 2005?
Yeah. Some persons who have lost their homes recently, about 7-8 years now, are still living home by persons or renting or stuff like that. So I thought it was fitting that we look for some funding, because we are woefully underfunded here in Tobago, because the budgetary allocation to settlements was only $2 million this year. So we decided that we will partner with Habitat for Humanity. Right now, they are writing up the program to seek international funding, to see if we could get some funding to start at least providing materials or actually rebuilding the entire home so these persons will have lost it through natural disaster. Mm-hmm. So we have been doing a lot of work quietly, and the Rural Development Unit is working hand in hand with Habitat for Humanity to make these dreams come true.
Has any of these residents, have they had any of their homes addressed yet? Has work started at all?
Yes, some persons will have started, but there are some persons who would have lingering. Or if you're at a senior age and you lost your home, because there's a home that was recently burned in John Dial in about 2022, that lady is still renting somewhere, nothing has been rebuilt for her. So we're hoping that we could get these funding so that we could actually start or assist them getting back on their feet.
Okay, great. And then, of course, there's, as you mentioned, the Habitat for Humanity. There's also a program in place to deal with roof repair.
Yes.
What's been going on with that?
Well, they're working assiduously of doing a number of roof repairs. They're looking for more funding so they could address that. They're even looking for funding to do floor repairs because we have some persons who like the flooring replaced. So they're working assiduously with that. Right now, their program started in Speyside, or Charlottesville, I should say, and in Mason Hall, Mariah. So there are a number of homes that have been getting their roof repairs in this cycle before the rainy season comes down.
How are these persons chosen? How are they assessed?
Oh, well, they send the rural development unit. They usually go out into the communities, engage. They look at what the repairs that they needed. They get the data from the individuals and they send it to Habitat for Humanity and they do the assessment. They employ Tobago contractors to do these repairs. And then they are just put on a listing based on the funding that is available, because last year they would have put 1.45 million to start the program and we matched it. So that's about 2.8 million, so we 2.9 million. So that is what is being used to repair a number of homes in.
So that's basically about 3 million
Yeah.
being spent collaboratively.
Yes.
And how many people has that covered?
Well, so far we have done about 60-something persons, and we still have a number of persons still on the because we do them in batches of 10, sometimes 12. Then there is a minor roof repair. That repair goes up to $12,000. So if you want a couple of galvanized change, some windows change, so it all depends. But we could only spend this money based on the guidance given by these donors. We can't go outside of the scope. So if you need minor repairs up to 12,000, that is also another program that is undertaken by the Rural Development Unit and Habitat for Humanity.
All right, great.
Also, we want to implement the rainwater harvesting because we had discussion with them up to last week where they will come in and put in the guttering and the water tank and the pump so that in the dry season that person won't be affected that much.
Mm-hmm. Basically drawing from some of the things that we used to do a long time ago.
Yes, Candice.
All right. Now, I mean, there's a lot more developments happening within the division as we seek to, first of all, address the long list of people that are in need of housing. Now, I mean, for a number of years, we know the number was at 7,500. What is the actual number of people that are in need that are on the books right now that have applied?
Well, I think it's more than 7,500 because we recently met with the nurses. They have 150 persons. We met with the Defense Force.
Mm-hmm.
We have met with the fire services. And there are other agencies that want to meet with us. But what is happening, we are seeing that because the escalating material costs, because we see cement rose by 7% just about a month ago. So that is taking the costs of the units that we could provide, probably out of the reach of some persons. Up to yesterday, we have the Tobago Urban and Rural Housing Company. The chairman and the deputy chairman and I had a meeting with the chief secretary. So we are coming up with ways that some persons who cannot afford these homes that we find to probably provide them with some lands and they do their construction. Because this year the division is hoping to distribute 125 parcels of lands. Mm-hmm. And that is separate from the 100 parcels that will be distributed by the chief secretary's office, where we have a collaboration with us, the POSH program, for public servants and contracted workers within the THA. So
and where would these lands be located?
Well, we have Mason Hall. We have 50 parcels in Mason Hall. We're supposed to be coming on stream shortly. Then we have still in Blemen. We have in Speyside. We still have lands in Buku, Castara. So there's a number of places that we want to combine that we could get these 250 at least parcels of land to distribute this year.
What has it been like getting these lands ready or to a place that it can be distributed? How has the process been? What are the challenges that the division has been facing?
Well, when you get, you select the persons, they have to go and make sure that they are capable, they are able to buy, so they have to go and get pre-qualified by the banks, and that takes some time. Sometimes they don't have all the documentation, so it's taking longer, but we are hoping that the process could speed up so that they could be homeowners, they could start something, at least put up something that they could move into as quickly as possible. So those are just some of the challenges the persons getting the documentation that is needed and then see if they qualify. But, lands are only sold at $15 per square foot from the government. So if you buy a 5,000 square feet land, that is 75,000. So we're hoping that much young people could get into the program, at least could construct some home. Due to the direction of the chief secretary, we have intergenerational mortgages. So your children could be co-signers to the whole arrangement, so they could take over the mortgage payment if you pass on, something like that.
And how has that program been going? Like, what has been the response that you've been getting from that
Well,
program?
a lot of people is interested in that program because some persons who are capable of constructing a home are probably in their upper 40s, up to 50s,
Yes.
and if they have their kids, and at least you want to be a beneficiary of the state, at least you join with your mom and your dad. And so we have a number of persons who come on as co-applicant, but it's for the first time because it's common throughout the region that you have intergenerational mortgages. But we are now introducing that back here in Tobago so that at least the children could feel part of that, you own something.
And that's something that's really good because especially for people of perhaps my generation and a little bit above me, we've had a lot of challenges in terms of, what the system has been like, even what the market has been like. So it has looked so unachievable to own land.
Yes. Well, we even had discussion with the Chief Secretary about, because, the THA has about 32 estates. And he was saying to the company, we could go look at some of these estates and see what portion we could have to develop these lands and hand distribute it to persons, because the cost of construction is so high.
Yes.
So it's better we give the lands to some persons because, as I said, there's not much you could do with $2 million to construct homes in Tobago from the divisional standpoint. So it's persons who are able to purchase piece of these lands at a reduced rate, and then you construct your home. So we're looking, the companies looking to go out and see some of these areas in Kendall that has, I think it's about 200 acres of land, to see what could be access and what could be easy to construct, and other areas that we have estates on the island.
No, and I know there's some more expansion happening in already established areas such as Riceland and Aldefi and Mason Hall.
Yes.
So tell us what's going on there.
Well, we did have discussion about that yesterday because as the secretary, I have to stay away because there's a board of directors in control of housing now. But we had discussion yesterday because what we're finding is that with the shortage of funding, the contractors are concerned how they will get their pay. So we have to come in and put in some monies to reduce the cost to the end users. So we had discussions about that. So the RFP will be going out this week or by latest next Wednesday for housing 110 units at Riceland. We are in discussion stage about to sign contract for Adventure. That's 120 units. And then the 50 units in 50 parcels of land in Mason Hall. That RFP is supposed to go out next week also.
Okay. Now, as you are considering the construction of homes and so on, how much thought is being put into making sure that we are as disaster ready as possible to be able to withstand the hurricanes, the earthquakes, and so on? Because, the severity of these things are becoming more and more as we get on.
And the climate change.
Climate change and so on.
We are trying to use the same policy that we are adopting from Habitat for Humanity because, they build with all these disaster mitigations in storing in their mind. So we are looking that the contractors follow that model, that we have the hurricane straps, we do whatever is necessary. Even though we are using alternative materials, they must be able to withstand the category storm or hurricane or earthquake, whatever it is. So those are the things we are bringing to the island. We're not just going to construct any flimsy, flabsy, any home. There must be the resistance to earthquake or any other natural disaster.
And what's also interesting is that sometimes when you look back at some of our construction long ago, those types of construction has actually been really good to stand up against some of these storms. Are we looking back at some of the things that we did in the past that were good, and you just mix it with what's there modern?
Of course, because I could say that it's one thing Tobagonians have always taken pride in is construction of their homes, and no matter how poor you are, you construct something that is worthy that you could live in and could withstand these things. So yes, we have to learn from the past, but we also have to introduce things that are futuristic,
of course,
that will withstand these measures of disaster.
All right, great. And what is the process like for persons that are wanting to apply for land and so on? And I know this is a conversation that we always have, but we need to keep having because people are always asking the questions. How can they apply? How can they be on the list so that they can be chosen?
Well, as I always say when I'm on the program, you have to first come and get your form from the division or any of the constituency office of assembly, 15 assemblymen. And you fill out your form, you put in all the basic requirements, and you come and submit it to the office. But you must select areas that are carded for construction. And if you're in the system, it's like I always said on the last program, it's not an automatic rollover. So persons who would have chosen Adventure Phase 1, it's not an automatic rollover to Adventure Phase 2. You now have to come and update your form to the present development to be considered for that development that will be coming on stream.
All right, great. Now we're going to take a pause in our conversation right here, but when we come back, we'll be speaking a little bit more about your electoral district of Mason Hall Mariah, and we're going to get into some exciting things that are happening there. So viewers, please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Okay.
The Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm. On Easter Weekend 2025, Tobago is the place to be from April 17th to 20th. The Rhythm, the Soul of Tobago. On Thursday, April 17th, get ready for a worship experience at the Shore Park Complex with melodies from heaven. Melodies from heaven. Then on Saturday, 19th April, immerse yourself in the sun, sea, and sand at the Buku Seafood and Jazz Festival, featuring legends of R&B. On Sunday, 20th April, we bring the curtains down at Parade Grounds, Dwight York Stadium for Fusion. Get your tickets on islandetickets.com now or visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info. Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival 2025. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With AMPLIA TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with AMPLIA's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 gigabyte fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With AMPLIA, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. AMPLIA. Do more, live more.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, we are continuing our conversation this morning with Assemblyman man Ian Pollard, and now we are going to get into some discussions about what's been happening or what will be happening within his electoral district of Mason Hall Mariah. So, I mean, of course, you have something planned special for this weekend that involves river and it involves lime. Tell us about that.
Well, before we get to the river lime, I'm only the facilitator as the area representative. My constituency will come and ask, and I will support financially. But tomorrow night at the hard courts opposite the high school, we have the four-side knockout for the young men in the community. We have so far 12 teams, hoping that we are registering teams even up to tomorrow night. So just to bring the community out, have some economic activities, those who have their popcorn, whatever they have for sale, so they could come out and bring the community together. So that is scheduled for tomorrow from 6 p.m. till on the hard courts at Mason Hall. And then Monday we go to the first ever river lime in Mason Hall.
All right, so
at Alma River.
let's get into this. So because there's something special about that river.
Yes.
Tell us.
Well, we have historical sites there as the water wheel that was there since in the 16th century. And,
And is it one of the oldest water wheels?
It was one of the oldest water wheels. And so constituents decided that they wanted to do something. So we cleaned it up. And then we're hoping that we have put benches there. We're hoping to put some lights there between today and Sunday, some solar lights so that persons could hang out there Monday. But Monday is going to be epic.
Mm-hmm. What's the plan? Tell us about that.
The plan is that the people bring their family out. We come and have a day of fun. We have a DJ. We have different foods. We have curry duck, curry chicken, pork, goat. We have planning about barbecuing fish. We have roast pig will be available, bus up shot. Anything that you think about. Crayfish and
I was just about to say, because they can't have a crayfish.
Yeah. So some of the guys from the Masonal Land Hand Crew, because we have a group that goes out and assist persons in their home, so we call ourselves the Land Hand Crew. And they went all probably last week and early this week. They're going tonight, I think, to catch more crayfish. So we have a crayfish broth. We have crab and dumpling. We have the whole 9 yards. We have the whole works. So we tend to bring the community out from Masonal, Mora, and all who are interested to come and spend a day at the river with us. We'll provide portable toilets. We have everything that needed to have persons. Tents and chairs for the senior citizens who want to just sit and just come and intermingle with the young folks. Because Candice, I live like, my home is like about 5 minutes from the river, which is about 40 years now I haven't been to the river. Wow. Since I came back from studying, I've never been to the river. So it's really exciting. It brings a lot of excitement to the constituents, and a lot of people is talking about it. So we're hoping that persons would come out in their numbers and come and have a day of fun.
What special significance does that river have for you?
Well, this is where we had to go wash our clothes with our moms, and that we would go there and bathe. If there's no water in the pipe in the 70s, you go there and you bathe before you go to school or over the weekend. So, and that's where I first learned to swim, because my dad would take me and throw you into these big ponds, and then he will dive in after. So.
And because you don't have a beach.
Yeah, and because, yes, we have had enough fun, laughter in the last 60-something years of people talking about Masonal and having sea. So we are embracing that we have a river, and that's what we are doing right now. We are embracing what God blessed us with.
And the one village that has a lot of abundant rivers.
Yes. Most of the main rivers pass through Masonal. So we are embracing what we have, as I said, and we hope that persons come out and have clean fun. I've informed the Moriah Police Station and other police officers so they could come by and make sure that the peace is maintained and stuff like that. And persons from all over. We have residents from Trinidad who grew up in Masonal. They're coming up probably Saturday on the boat to come, because they said they haven't been to the river. So we hope that the community comes out and just have a day of fun.
And then tell me a little bit about some of the plans that you have for that area itself, because as you mentioned, you have things like the water wheel and some ruins and relics that are within the area. What's the plan for getting that established as a historical site?
Well, we had meeting with the Archaeological Society, and what we learned from them, Miss Blades, is that there are two Amerindian sites, one in Masonhall and one in Moriah, because it was thought that Amerindians only settled on the sea coast of Tobago. But there are two sites that she says, the one in Sand River in Masonhall and one in Moriah. There are also two waterfalls in Coffee River. That's at Gate Road in Moriah. So we're hoping that these could be opened up, because last 2 weeks we had the first trek from one of the cruise ship Explorer, where we had 20 tourists, high-end tourists, decided to choose to go Highland Waterfall instead of Argyle. And they gave it great review. It was a nice trek. They enjoyed it. So we're hoping that these places could be open, because most people think that the north side starts at Castara. And we intend to change that. The whole north side is beautiful, so we want it open up, because once we have these trails cut and marked and persons could go visit, these places that tourists could be another tourist stop for persons coming up to visit our shores.
And for a long time, like as you mentioned, the water wheel and things like that, for a long time Tobago just thought that we only had two water wheels, the one in Space and the one in Anna's Vale. Yeah. But the truth is, like, over the past few years, it's been coming out more and more in the public. Yes. How many of these things that exist within the spaces that were never publicized before?
Well, there are lots, because remember we were mainly a sugar industry island in those times also. Some of them I understand are in Mount St. George and Goodwood Way in the forest, and they're still in pristine condition, just need to clean up. And I was surprised what the guys did to the one down at Alma River in Masonhall, how they cleaned it up. I mean, there are some parts that someone tried to cut off to sell for scrap iron and stuff like that, but they don't know the history, they don't know the value of these things. And There's this sign out there that gives you the history of the nutmeg factory, that water wheel that was there. So we're hoping that
Mason Hall used to produce nutmeg.
yes, and that was the name of the estate, and the sugar to make a lot of sugar, molasses and stuff, and things like that. So we're hoping that we could get tourists visit these places, like Mr. Woody Hall. He usually is a tour guide, and he will he took the tourists to Highland Waterfall. So we're hoping that they could make many other stops in Mason Hall, Mariah, like to these 2 new waterfalls that we discovered down in Coffee River, and even the Amerindian sites. Even King Peter Bay, where you could get Big Bay and Cotton Bay, 2 of the best bays on that side of the island. So we're hoping that we could open up the north side so we could have much more visitors to our end of the island.
Is there a plan in place, or is there an idea at all to, let's say, make a experience linking all these sites, the rivers, the historical places, and making just a day out of it, a trip out of it, that we can market to our visitors?
Well, that will go with greater collaboration with the Archaeological Society, probably my colleague, Secretary Boris, through tourism, and we could probably gather something. But like I said, the Rural Development Unit, I'm just a facilitator. So just to get the thing kick off, I'm there to finance it so that it becomes a talking point, and then I'll let the persons with the necessary desire and experience take the baton and run with it.
And then, as you mentioned, a lot of the people in the community, a lot of the young fellows in the community are a part of the River Line and preparing and so on. What do they think in terms of, bringing some life to these historical places?
Well, they're very enthused about it, because they're the one who brought the idea to me, because when they brought it to just like meet me by the river, and I went down there and I saw them, and they were there with their brush cutters, their cutters, and they are really excited about it. And it's good to see that the young men have this kind of excitement. I just have to taper it, because like I said, they wanted to have that Juve procession on Monday morning. I had to tell them, no, it's not going to be like that. Have families come out. But it is good to see that they are interested, and the word on the ground is that a lot of people are interested. And it's going to be free food, free drinks. We thought of doing it as a fundraising venture, because there's a constituent who doesn't have a place to call home that we were thinking of raising some funds to help start constructing a home. But I told them, let's just do this one as the initiation, and then we probably do one on Indian Arrival Day, where we could probably sell the food. We can't sell alcohol because we don't have the license, but we could provide drinks and we sell the food just to raise the money to get something started to help construct a home.
And how important is, just fostering that river lime culture to the culture of Mason Hall and Mariah?
Yes, that is it, because like I said, God has blessed us with river. And that is what we need. We need to embrace what we have. And there's so much great experience you could have. Although some of the rivers now, the water flow is not as heavy as it used to nowadays. And these rivers need to be desilted. So beside that, we can make an experience out of anything. Because some of the things that you go in foreign and other countries to see, and we have some of it here, or even much better. We just have to open and explore.
And one thing about rivers in Tobago is how clean they are.
Yes.
The water is always so clear, unless there's rain.
Yes.
But unless there's rain. But but if it's on a good day and there's no rain, the water is so clear, so refreshing.
Yes.
Especially when the sun is hot.
So even the guys and them in the community, they have been ingenuitive in that the water flow is not that heavy. So what they did, they took some of the feed bags and fill them with sand and block off like a pond, so the kids and them could go in there on Monday if they wish to. Because we don't have any lifeguards or anything like that, so it's going to be shallow pond, so the kids could get the experience of river. Because I'm certain there are kids in Mason who have never been to the river. So we're hoping to create that kind of atmosphere, that kind of environment.
And of course, you were telling me earlier when we were on break that how you learned to swim was in the river.
Yes. We used to go to the beach probably once a month if my dad had time to take us. So the river was just behind us, so we'd go to the river. My dad would throw you in the pond as a little baby, and then you dive in behind you. And after that, you get accustomed to the river. There, you're running away to go to the river. You get a lot of licking when you get back home. But it's really an experience, and we hope that the young people could embrace it and have that bring back that kind of life. Because up to this morning, I was saying I wanted to do have football in the streets, win ball cricket in the streets. Because my football career started at 7 in front of my father's house on the street. The car coming, you had to run and move the goal post or the wicket, and bring back some of the old time days into the community so the young people could appreciate where they are now. We didn't have any football stadium with lights in those days. So we learned everything right on the street, spinning up the top, pitching of marbles, everything like that right on the street. So these are things that the young people could be exposed to so that they could appreciate where they are today.
And cricket on the road, football on the road,
Yes.
that was so much a part
Yes.
of our culture
Yes,
long
it brings
ago.
the community together because everybody was looking forward to that
Throughout the
Sunday morning.
country,
Also, yes. So it's something I was thinking this morning that I want to implement. Probably we go on the football field over there is a wide area that has asphalted, and we could have that on probably Sunday morning after persons come back from church or something like that, just to bring the community out together.
All right, great. Well, a lot of good things happening. And just to remind people about that River Lime, when, where, how can they be there?
Well, it's in Easterfield Road, Alma River. There will be signs posted, so persons who are not familiar with the area will know when they reach Alma Guest House that you take the road going down on the left. So signs will be posted so they could come and join us there. But beside that, Candice, we also have my football league starting next Saturday.
Yes.
We have to cut short because we have to accommodate the Moral League to start because the Tobago Football League have gone to a protracted length of time. So we have 10 teams so far. We want to stop at that because we have a number of persons still inquiring to come and be part, but we want to continue keeping our league, to keep the community together, have some economic activities, and at least have the young people come out and have some fun.
So go to the football.
Saturday night, River Lime on Monday, starting from 1, or you could get there before. And then on Saturday, 5th of April, the area representative football league.
Great. All right, so a lot of good things to look forward to if you are in the electoral district of Mason Hall, Mariah.
Please stop by.
Yes. And is it open to anybody else as well?
Anyone. It's like I said, it's free food and free drinks. Anyone could stop by.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Pollard, for being on with us and just sharing with us some of the developments that are happening in the area and in the housing department as well. So thank you again. And viewers, yes, we're getting ready for a long weekend. It's an exciting time. No matter what you do, please remember to be safe and take care of yourself so that we don't have any bad news to report. We only just want to report that you had fun. So please, please, please take care of yourself. Be vigilant when you're out there. Don't drink and drive. And we'll see you again next week.
So wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong.